Hello, my viewers. Today we are looking at this question that you are able to see on the chalkboard. So this is the statistics, and the question itself is coming from a past paper 2025 GCE. Okay, so can you pay attention so that I can teach you how to find standard deviation? Okay, so as you can see, the question itself carries how many marks? 6 marks. So you can't manage to lose 6 marks in an examination. So you are very lucky that you are with us so that we can run you through on how to go about this particular question. So remember, this is paper 2 type of question. When you hear paper 2, just know that calculator is allowed. This is a calculator version. Okay, so now to start with, statistics consist of formulas. So standard deviation, which formula are you going to use? So the other thing that you must understand is you are very lucky because formulas are given on the cover page. Okay, the moment you just open the first page there, you'll be able to see the formulas that has been already given to you. Okay, so we are going to get one of those formulas so that we can apply here. Now, when you look at this type of question, this is because we have got 2 types of statistics there. So this one with intervals, we have intervals here. So that one requires for you to find the standard deviation, you need first of all to know the midpoint. Okay, so we call this type of statistics as the grouped data because they are in intervals. Okay, so quickly let me introduce the formula, which is already there on the cover page, the one that you are going to use for us to work out these 6 marks. So we say standard deviation, the formula itself first. Standard deviation, which is abbreviated as SD, is equals to summation f of x squared over summation frequency minus mean, the square of mean. Then you do the square root. Okay, so this is standard deviation. Now remember, if you are asked to find variance, you don't need to include the square root there. Okay, that is variance. So standard deviation is the square root of variance. So there we go. We can actually start. So the first thing that we are going to do is to find f of x squared. We are going to find f of x squared. Okay, then thereafter we also need to find the mean, which is the x bar, okay, on a separate part. Then thereafter we are going to substitute those things now in the formula for us to find the final answer, the one that we are looking for. So now let's start with the mean first before we even start finding this. So mean, which is represented by x bar, is equals to f of x over, that is summation f of x over summation f. Okay, so that is the formula for mean, which is x bar here. So we need to find that one. Then from there we'll come and substitute. Okay, so how do we find that now? So we are going to say f of x. So that x is representing the midpoint between 0 to 20. That is the x you are able to see there. So the 5 here, we have the frequency. So f is representing the frequency. So now, for us to find it, we are going to say mean is equals to f. We have 5 there. Okay, so we write 5. Okay, then where there is a bracket there, it means we are multiplying times the midpoint. So what is the midpoint on the first column there? midpoint. So how do we find the midpoint? How we find the midpoint, you just add 0 plus 20. Then you divide by 2. Okay, the answer that you are going to get is your midpoint. So when you say 0 plus 20, the answer is 20. 20 divided by 2, the answer is going to be 10. Okay, so you are multiplying frequency times midpoint. Okay, so 5 times 10. Then you say plus. Okay, because we still have them. There are a lot there. Okay, then plus, you also have 20 times, this is 20, which is frequency, times what? The midpoint here. When you add this, what are you going to have? 20 plus 40. The answer is going to be 60. Okay, 20 plus 40, the answer is 60. Then 60 divided by 2. 60 divided by 2, what is the answer? So you are going to have 30. Okay, 30 as the midpoint there. Then again, you put in brackets, you say plus. Okay, you come to the next one, frequency, which is F, we have 55. Okay, 55 times, the midpoint here is what? When you say 40 plus 60, the answer is 100. So 100 divided by 2 is 50. So the midpoint here is what? Is 50. Okay, then you say plus. Again, frequency, which is F, is what? 18. 18 times, what is the midpoint there? 60 plus 80, the answer is 140. So the midpoint there is going to be 70. Because 140 divided by 2 is 70. Okay, then we go to the last one, plus 2 is the F, then times. So midpoint is this is 118. So divide by 2, 180 divide by 2, we are going to have 90. Okay, so 90 is our midpoint. So 2 times 90. Okay, so we are done with the first part, which is the numerator. Summation, meaning that is where you are seeing this plus. Summation simply means add. Okay, so now when you do that, you say over what? The summation of frequency. So summation of frequency, you just add the frequency. That's what it means. So just say 5, you say 5 plus 20 plus 55 plus 18 plus 2. Okay, the answer is 100. Okay, so you are going to have 100. Very good. Then from there now, let us simplify the numerator. Let us simplify the numerator now. So you are going to say 5 times 10, that will be 50. Okay, 50 plus, then 20 times 30 is 600. Then plus 55 times 50, the answer is 2,750. 750. Then plus 18 times 70, 18 times 70, the answer is 1,260. 260. Where are we? We are here. So now the last one. What is 2 times 90? The answer is 180. Okay, over 100. Okay, so what we are trying to find here is the mean. Okay, so now when you add all these, what are you going to have? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we are correct. Then from there now we can add everything on top. So 50 plus 600 plus 2,750 plus 1,260 plus 180. Okay, so what are you having? We are having 4, 8, then 40. So 4,840 divided by 100. So what is our mean, which is the x bar in this case? So this one now divide by 100. The answer is 48.4. Okay, so this is our mean. Remember, when we come back to the formula that we are given, we are going to substitute where there is x bar, we substitute this. Very simple. Once you have found the mean, then you can proceed to the other part now. Okay. So now, for us to find f of x squared, what are we going to do? Okay. So instead here, we don't need to waste much of our time. We know that mean, I can even write it here now. Mean is equals to 48.4. That is our x bar. So now, for us to find this, we are going to use the same expression that we have. We'll just get rid of this part. Okay, since you have known how to go about this, so just wrap this, then we'll remain with the rest. Because when you look at this formula, summation f of x is 100. Okay, summation simply means add. So just have to add the frequency. So when you add all this is 100, which is already there. Okay, we've done this when we were looking at mean. Okay, so now let us just answer this one. What are we going to do? F is already there, which is 5. Okay, now times, this time around we are square the midpoint. Okay, we need to square it. So the midpoint here is 10, so just put 2. Okay, so just put 2, the square which is here. Okay, even here throughout where there is a midpoint, just put square, square, square. Okay, so you don't need to waste much time. That is when finding f of x squared. That's what it means. You need to multiply the frequency times the midpoint square, which is this one. Okay, so let us do it now. Let us simplify from that point. Okay, and this is now f of x. We are finding f of x squared. Okay, so we can start. When we say 5, we can bring it down, then times 10 squared, that is 100, plus 20 you write, then times 30 squared, that is 900. Okay, then plus, here we can multiply, then plus 55 times 50 squared. What is the answer? 50 squared is 2,500. 2,500. Okay, then plus, there you can open, then we say 18 times 70 squared. What is the answer? We are squaring the midpoint here. 70 squared. The answer is 4,900. Okay, then plus 2 times 90 squared. 90 squared. What is the answer? 90 squared is 8,100. Okay, 8,100. We are trying to find f of x now. Then we say over. Remember, in the formula we are saying summation of x, of which, summation of f, which is frequency, of which we have already found. So we can just write that one over 100, because it is 100 already. Okay, so let us do now the calculations on the numerator part. So here we are going to say the f of x is equals to 5 times 100. This will give us 500 already. 500 plus 20 times 900. 20 times 900. 20 times 900. The answer is going to be 18,000. Okay, 18,000. 18,000. Then plus 55 times 2,500. The answer is 13,000 or 137,500 plus, we are there now, 18 times 4,900. 18 times 4,900 is 88,200. Okay, then plus the last one there, we have 2 times 8,100. What is the answer? 16,200. Okay, so we are done with that one over the summation. In fact, this is over. Summation is already there. So this is the one we are finding. So 100. Okay, so f of x squared over, this is summation f of x squared, then summation f of x. I mean f summation f. Okay, now from there, we can actually, we know that this is our mean. So we can actually now we can sum up the numerator so that we get the final answer after adding. So 500 plus 18,000 plus, you have to be accurate enough when punching the calculator. Very, very important, because once you miss one figure, then you are gone. So 137 500 137,500, then plus 88 200, then plus 16 200, 16,200. So what are we having? What are we having? Okay, so we are having 260,000. That is numerator. So we are saying f summation f of x squared over summation f is equals to, so we are saying on top is 260,400 over the summation is, we know the summation is what? Is 100. Okay, so now from there, we can now boldly say this one divide by what? Divide by 100. What are we having? We are having 2,604. Okay, so this is our summation f of x squared over summation f. Okay, so what we have found is the whole of this thing, and this one also we have found. Okay, so from there we can get the formula, get back to our formula and substitute what we have. So say standard deviation therefore is equals to the square root f of x. We don't need to waste much time. Let's put what is there. For f of x is this one. F of x squared over the whole of that thing. So we are saying 2, that is 2,604. Then minus the x bar we have found. Okay, x bar is what? Is 448.4. But remember, this one is a square. There is a square in the formula there. Okay, there is a square. So you need to put a square there. So now from there, you can proceed. So what you do from there is that you are going to say 48. First of all, we can bring down this one like the way it is. 2,604, then minus the square root of 48.4 square. The answer is 2,342.56. Okay. So now from there, we can actually subtract. Just subtract and see what we are going to have. 2,604 minus 2,342.56. The answer is going to give us the square root of 261 0.44. Okay, then standard deviation, therefore, standard deviation is equals to, we can now square root that one. Okay, so there I will say square root answer. So the answer now will be 16.17 as our standard deviation. So once you have answered like this, it means the 6 marks is yours. Okay, so this is how we answer standard deviation in simplest way. Okay, rather than using a table, this one will just go direct, then you come up with the answer. Thank you so very much for your attention and understanding the concept that I've employed. I'm pretty sure that you have gotten that which you want to get as a learner. See you in the next class.